Welcome to Founders Future, a podcast powered by Closers.io, where we dive into the journeys of innovative entrepreneurs and explore the road ahead for them and their companies. I'm your host, Zach Young, and in each episode, we uncover the stories behind impactful ventures, the challenges faced along the way, and the strategies driving their future growth. Today, we're joined by Charese Chambers, a coach, trainer, and international speaker who specializes in helping high-achieving professionals scale their influence while staying grounded in purpose and leadership integrity. With experience in leadership development, culture transformation, and performance coaching, Charese partners with individuals and teams to unlock their capacity, refine their leadership impact, and build sustainable professional success. She's passionate about empowering people to level up their confidence, communication, and execution so they can lead with clarity and achieve results that matter. Charese, a very, very warm welcome to Founders Future.
Thank you so much, Zach. You're manifesting something new. I haven't spoken internationally yet, but I claimed that in 2026 for myself.
I knew it's something that you needed, so I was like, you know what, I'm putting it in there.
You need to put it in my bio, so there you go. I love it.
I love it. It's going to be a great episode. We have a lot to dive into. Before we do, I do like to start with your background, though. So before becoming a coach, a trainer, a speaker, of course, as well, what were you doing previously, and what was really your inspiration to get into this space?
Yeah, I actually like to call myself an accidental entrepreneur. I fell in love with a young lady during a career day in middle school. She came from Bank of America. I remember it like it was yesterday, in her navy pinstripe suit. And I said, I want to be like her, right? I already loved math. And I thought I wanted to work in a bank, and I have actually worked in a bank. Funny story. But when I initially applied, they were turning me down, one reason or another. And I went to school for accounting. I worked a lot of other accounting jobs, so I did like cost accounting, production accounting, accounts receivables, accounts payables. So anything that's close enough to accounting, I was in. But then I got a job at a tax firm, and that's where the bug bit me. And I worked at a tax firm for several years, and at some point I was like looking over the tax return, and they offered what they call rapid refunds. And I was looking, and I was realizing that they were taking a good percentage of people's refunds as part of payment. So it's kind of almost like a payday loan almost. And I said, oh, we've got to do better. And that's really what stemmed the beginning of Financial Fancy. At the time was called Capital Fundamentals. And so I was just offering tax preparation for almost a little over a decade before Financial Fancy turned into her own firm and started offering tax planning and coaching. So my business, at the core of who she is a tax compliance business that also services in other areas. But that's my beginning story. I really thought I was going to work a 9 to 5 and get PTO and and all that, and a 401k, and that wasn't my story. So here I am.
Yeah, you don't get PTO as an entrepreneur. You think you do, but you end up
No,
working a lot more.
you do. That's why you got to hire me. Strategy. I take the whole month of August off for my birthday.
Very nice. Okay, well,
Yes.
we will
But it
dive
comes
into
with
that.
planning. Yeah, it comes with planning. I put away one of the first things I identify with entrepreneurs is, one, they probably aren't charging enough. They
Mm,
don't even have themselves in their budget line, right? So now that's one conversation. The second conversation would be having them dream enough, because what's the point of being your own boss if you don't have the freedom? Like, what am I exchanging? Am I exchanging my time to be my own? Like, you're sacrificing. A lot of people are sacrificing too much and don't realize that they're doing the same. Or they also feel like sometimes you can get so stringent in what they call hustling that it makes them blind, because they're in the thick of it, to create
mm,
the spaces of capacity that they need in their business too. So,
mm. Absolutely. Well, let's dive in a little more to the business itself today. Can you walk us
okay.
through, the work you're doing, who you're typically doing it with, everything like that?
Yeah, so I love small businesses. So whatever the SBA's definition of what a small business is that's who I work with. I only can do a handful of product-based businesses because they require a little bit more hand-holding with keeping track of inventory and things of that nature. But service-based businesses, sign me up. So I have a lot of entertainers, actors, coaches of themselves, maybe some kind of service provider, things of that nature. So those are my
Mhm.
ideal clients.
Got it. Okay. And you mentioned a little earlier, it's mostly tax, handling tax situations, things
Hmm.
like that. Can you kind of walk us a little more? What exactly are you handling for the clients? And it sounds like you're also doing some advising as well. So walk us through
Yeah,
that.
yeah, absolutely. So I have kind of like three pillars, obviously business to business. So clients either need their regular bookkeeping. So I do offer a CFO service. So that would entail their
Mm,
bookkeeping, keeping them in compliance and filing their taxes along with tax planning, because there's no need to be doing the bookkeeping and not having strategy to be able to figure out where the business is. Are they in a scaling model? Are they in an optimization model? And sometimes even clients are at the very beginning. Uh, a mentor for organization that works with tech forward founders breaking in. So they're in a fundraising and kind of a due diligence, like is there a market for the thing that they're trying to bring to the world as well. So
mm,
those are kind of the four stages that I work with most clients. I also do a little bit of acquisition, so either people trying
mm,
to acquire new businesses or sell them, so we call that legacy work. And then that tailors into facilitation. I'm very big on teaching. So I like to facilitate workshops. I do a 5 week boot camp for an organization right now. Basically beginning parts of entrepreneurship. So who do I need to pay taxes to? What should my budget be? Where can I find the money? And then the more advanced section is how do I stabilize what I already have created? And that could be again that optimization or the scaling model. And those are actually two different things. Sometimes people are trying to scale and optimize simultaneously, and they really need to scale first and then optimize the scaling to find some equal pieces. Because when you're trying to change prices, hire more employees, and change products or vendors,
mm.
right? When you're trying to solve too many problems simultaneously, nine times, maybe eight times out of ten, it blows up, right? I'm always in the thought process of what is the single problem we're figuring out right now. Let's solve that and then move on to the next thing. Because it focusing on three things could take you a year and a half. When you focus on one thing, it might take you 2 months, and then we can move on to
Mm,
the next thing.
I'm
So those
sure
are
you
kind of the
have
services
seen
I
that.
offer.
I'm
Yeah,
sure you've seen that more than enough times with business owners you work with.
absolutely, absolutely, absolutely.
So I have to ask about you taking all of August off. Because, I mean, it sounds like you're doing a lot. Obviously, you're a fractional CMO for a lot of these companies, which is a lot of work, right? I mean, even the word fractional in there doesn't mean you're working an hour a month, right? You're doing
Right,
work. How did you
right.
set the business up where you could take a full month off?
Yeah, so actually it kind of started about 5, 6 years ago. I had to have a full hysterectomy and I was going to be like not able to like move around, go see clients like I was for about 3 months. And I was like, oh my goodness, what does that look like? Like I could still make money, but I was just like, huh. So my wheels got to turning after surgery, and I was like, I need to figure out how, like I've never implemented the PTO on my end on my business, right? So I started figuring out what my big goal is, right? And then instead of putting away 20% of my business, I was now putting away 30%. And just that extra 10% allowed me to now take off that whole month. And also, I started offering a service that was reoccurring. So people were paying me on a monthly. And that by itself changed the game for me too, because I was doing more project based things with clients. So, like, QuickBooks cleanup, bookkeeping cleanup, and so that when that's over, that the money's done. Once the
Mhm.
service is done, they pay for it, it's done. And I was like, oh, I really need to offer something that has a reoccurring dollar amount and move forward with that. And I also started a membership called the Unaesthetic Entrepreneurs. So I have two reoccurring service things that actually are what I call my business coach calls my bill money. Right. So I put that money aside. And then I also have offers that are I call fun money, and those monies, and but I still always put 30% of those monies that I make from all of the services into another pocket for me to be able to pull from. It's almost very much the same theory I do with clients who offer gift cards. By the time this airs, Christmas will be over, but you will be redeeming your gift cards. And what happens is a lot of entrepreneurs will offer things like the gift cards in their services or their products for Christmas for their sales, right? But it's uh, um pre-earned revenue. So what happens is, let's say you spent sell $10,000 worth of gift cards. Well, that's sitting in your operating account. Now, all these people want to redeem these gift cards after Christmas in January, first quarter, right? Especially product-based businesses. First quarter sucks because it's after Christmas. Nobody's in the holiday season anymore. No one wants to spend any money, but people want to redeem them gift cards. And if you spend that money, not realizing that this is like extra money that will eventually come to be spent right later. So what I usually tell clients is they need to open up a separate bank account for gift card purchases and put that money there. And then when people come to redeem it, then we can move that money from that account to the operating account and then make sure we're running regular operating expenses out of it. So it's the same principle. So that's why, again, having a CFO, having that strategy
Mm.
thought process, and really agitating what you want the end goal to be. So then you make sure you have all the steps and it runs as smooth as possible. I mean, I'm not saying like it's going to always solve all the kinks, but it's going to alleviate a lot of pain, a lot of other um pain points that you possibly could run into without having it in place.
Mm. With this deep work you're doing with these businesses, especially as a fractional, I'm going to take a guess. Are you kind of limited a little bit to the amount of businesses you could be working with at a time? Because it just sounds like a lot of work with each business.
Yeah, absolutely. That's something I had to do invisible work for myself. I was like, do I really want this to be like a lot of mini me's doing the same work? But then I realized these clients entrust me and they're providing me personal information. So I do have a cap of how many CFO clients I can have. And I do
Mm.
eventually cap also coaching clients. And then I've never reached my goal, but my goal right now is to have at least four corporate contracts a year. And of course, because I'm a type A person, actually before the end of the month, I will block out all of my calendar with all the things that I already have um promised and contracts that I've already been signed. So I have a couple of dates that are already been taking. So with having the visual, it helps me also take power over my calendar and my capacity too. And I find when I'm intentional about my calendar, it actually makes more space for me to take on more clients instead of like putting out fires every day. Like some entrepreneurs, that's legit what they do, and they never end up really running their business in an efficient way. They're always in that figuring out model, and they never get to that optimization part because they're putting out fires all the time. That's no way to run a business. I don't want to wake up in distress and anxiety because I'm putting out fires all the time. Listen, I deal with the IRS for clients. I do. So I have plenty of fires to put out, but I don't
Mm.
want to I try to be proactive instead of reactive so that I can have a better experience even in my entrepreneur journey.
Mm. Absolutely. Looking to the back end of the business for a second, how are these small businesses currently finding you to work with you?
Yeah, so Threads has been a thing for sure. And then LinkedIn has always been all the corporate clients I've had have unusually not been engaging in my stuff, but they say that they found me on LinkedIn and my lead generator is me, right?
Mm.
Shaking hands and kissing babies is, as the kids say, clock it. It's most definitely it's a winner
Yes.
in my book. So one of my marketing strategies is to go to a networking event at least once a week. And I know that might be a little obsessive to some people, but again, because I know my personality and I'm talking about um very sensitive stuff about I'm talking about people's money. They don't want to hear a robot or an AI version of who I am. They want to see me, feel me, touch me. They want to be able to engage, right? So going to events and then having a natural conversation. Hey, what do you do, right? And passing out business cards. And a lot of times 80% of my work are referrals. So that
Mm.
also speaks volumes to my work and also the trust that I've been establishing over the last 20 years being in business. Now, have I always gotten it right? Because I don't want anybody to be like, oh, well, listen, I have not always gotten it right. But also, because of the level of work I do and the return on investment that entrepreneurs themselves and business owners see themselves, it's been a really good strong year. And my work will always be needed. I don't think there'll ever, I mean, as much as AI is kind of infiltrating a lot of things, there will never come a time where an entrepreneur will relinquish day to day in their business where they do not need to also still run it through a human being. I mean, if
Mhm.
you have a simple tax return in a regular W-2, yes, but if you have a business, you you need a me. You need a me. What are we
You
talking
need
about? Yeah.
Charisse. Come on. Quit playing yourself. You're going to a networking event every single week. You have to be in like New York or LA for there to be a networking event every week. Am I right there?
Oh, okay. Yeah, so this is my ploy. So I live in Richmond. It costs $18 to get to DC on the train, right? So it's easy as jumping on the train and doing a day trip. I mean, to be honest, so I am infamous for looking on social media where people might be doing a brunch or an event. So my limitations are not circular or siloed to a 30-mile radius of where I live. I am infamous for popping up in another state and just shaking hands and kiss baby, going to a conference, going to a networking event. I actually went to go support a friend at an event in North Carolina and then end up connecting with the founder of said organization. And now I've spoken at her event 4 times. And next year, we'll be going to Denver, Colorado, and we're doing a fireside together for the VIP clients. So again, these opportunities have opened doors, and 80% of my clients don't live in the state of Virginia either. That's something happened with the pandemic. So, I mean, the wonders of social media and being intentional and getting out of your bubble. And I'm an extrovert, so it's just a little easier than most. I know everybody's not an extrovert, but yeah, I have military backing, so I've always been the new kid, and that has served me well
Mm.
in my business as well.
Yeah, clearly doing well for you. 2026 is slowly, but also very quickly coming up on us. I'm curious, are there any goals you've set for yourself in the business for next year you're looking to achieve?
Absolutely. Again, I'm type A. Okay. I want to hit $1 million in revenue. Not This is gross, not profit. We take baby steps over here. Next year, that is one of the top. So I'm not money driven, but that is the anchoring, right? So that looks like getting 1,000 entrepreneurs on payroll. So that means them signing up for different services. Consistently having 20 coaching clients in my coaching program, implementation coaching program, and getting 1,000 members in the unaesthetic entrepreneur. So all of those things collectively, just those two services, that's not even including the CFO, would get me to
Mm.
that goal. So I always make sure make room for grace, right? When we kind of like I'm not of the thought process to put all my eggs in one basket. When you make multiple baskets, you also make multiple opportunities to get to the goal too. So $1 million mark.
$1 million, baby. I love it.
Yes.
Where can the listeners find you? Where can they connect with you online?
Yeah, absolutely. So I send out a funding opportunity email once a month. So you can go to financialfancycfo.com when you first get into the vote. At the very top, you can sign up for the email list if you want to, and other resources as well. Like I sent out a checklist for the end of the year because some people are DIYing it. I get it. Okay. Also, you can sign up for the Unaesthetic Entrepreneur. You can scroll down. There's blogs on there. I mean, so really just the email by itself can get you started, get you connected with me. I also have a YouTube channel, so doing videos and vlogs there and just being in the know of what I'm doing. That's Financial Fancy.
Mm.
Also have a podcast called Business After Dark. I basically talk about the behind the scenes in entrepreneurship and all my battle wounds and things that I'm learning and things of that nature. And then I also
Yeah.
do a money making Monday on my IG live, also Financial Fancy CFO on Instagram. And then just yeah, those are probably the best places to find me.
Perfect. Charisse, such a pleasure having you on today. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you.
Absolutely. And that will wrap up another inspiring episode of the Founders Feature. To our listeners, if you enjoyed this episode, make sure to go and connect with Charisse on all of her social media and her website as well. All of those links will be in the show notes and description down below. And if you are a business owner, specifically a coach, consultant, or agency owner, and you're looking to scale your business, and you really want to enhance your sales and marketing efforts, visit closers.io to hop on a call with our team and discover how we went from 0 to 30 million per year in less than 3 years. Until then, keep on climbing.